3, 2, 1. Hey guys, welcome back to the Fishbowl. This is your girl Brenda and
Miguel.
This is my first time introducing.
That was fun.
That was good, right?
Yeah, it would have been funny if you said it's your boy Miguel.
I was thinking about it. I was like, don't mess this up. Don't mess this up. What was I name?
Yeah.
No, but I'm happy I did it.
Nah,
Anyways, I've already started.
I want to talk to you about something.
What?
Because I know you're a pretty heavily tattooed person.
Okay.
What would you say is your favorite tattoo?
You already know.
What? No. Oh, it's the colored one right
No!
here.
Why would you even say that?
That was pretty lit.
Like,
it's
that's
colorful.
literally something I never want to talk about.
Whoa. It was your secret.
It was my secret. I don't want anybody to know. I think because I don't see it as often because it's like behind my ear.
Yeah.
I'm assuming nobody else can see it, but I feel like that's the most visible one.
I forget about this one all the time.
Yeah.
Or this one, the one I have right here.
Yeah.
Because I have bracelets all the time.
Yeah, and I have a cross behind my neck and I forget about that too.
Oh, you do?
I
Huh?
have a cross behind my neck and I forget about all the time.
The ones behind your legs?
Yeah, I forget about those too. Which is stupid now because I got it for my mom and my dad. So Dulce and Miguel. And that was his DM. So you know what I mean? Like a DM, like a direct message in my head. But my favorite tattoo is my alien tattoo.
Why? But why? Why is it your
Alien tattoo.
favorite tattoo?
Because
Apart from
I
the
love
fact that
alien.
I got it for you
Okay.
and I'm the best.
That's not one of my favorite, but
Ah.
I feel like so I love aliens. I've always said this. I love aliens. I'm wearing an alien hoodie.
You are an alien?
I'm an alien, and I love it because like growing up, I always thought I had to get something serious to get tattooed it, but like I just knew that I wanted like ink, like a lot of ink, and like I feel like this is my first like I have stupid tattoos, but I feel like this is my first adult decision stupid tattoo that means a lot to me. Because
Really?
because I feel like when people look at it, like they're like, oh, I like your alien tattoo, and I'm like, I'm already thinking they think I'm a cool person.
I'm dead.
Because if you see an alien on somebody, you're like, oh, they're into weird shit, or they're into like conspiracy theories, or they're into like creepy stories. Like, ask me about a creepy story, and I'm gonna tell you 1,000.
Yeah,
And
not your average person has an alien tattoo.
Yeah, so I already feel special because of that, and like because people are gonna know what type of shit I'm into. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, waste my time telling me all the alien stories, all the scary stories, all the conspiracy theories, and I will listen.
I'm gonna correct you.
Yeah, I'm gonna correct you. I have my facts. So like, I feel like that's why I feel like it represents, even though it's like an alien tattoo and it's small and like it's not even shaded or anything. It means a lot to me because of that. I feel like it represents me.
No, and aliens are just cool.
Yeah,
like I feel like they're such a vibe.
Yeah, and I have like tattoos. That's what I'm saying. Like I have like half of my arm, like all that stuff. But like this is literally like my favorite, even though it's small or whatever. Because of that, I feel like it represents me. Out of everything that I have, I feel like that represents me.
With the alien
The
tattoo.
alien, yeah, and it makes me happy every time.
You know, people are usually like they get like this planned out tattoo.
Yeah, about their family and
this
stuff.
is the just I grew up in this area,
Me,
so it
it's
means
just
less
like-
of it's an alien tattoo.
It's like a quarter size alien tattoo, and it makes me so happy every time I see it. Every time I'm doing my makeup or my hair, I'm like, I can't believe I got it. Like, it was something that I really wanted. Like, I really, really wanted it. Yeah. Maybe I'll upgrade at some point. But, like, I also like how simple it is. You know?
I think that's the cool part.
Yeah, it's just the outline. Like, that's why I like it.
And low-key, I think, like, some of those, like, I don't want to say, like, shitty tattoos, but, like, the...
My tattoo is shitty.
No. But, like the moon. Like, it's just the moon. Like, it's literally black.
Yeah, it's just the moon.
You know what I mean? Like, this word is literally just resilience and... Nothing.
It's simple. Like,
yeah, maybe shitty wasn't the
yeah, my tattoo is shitty. I think you're just saying simple. Like, straight to the point. Like, that's what it is. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, but... Yeah, that's my
Aliens
favorite.
are
What's
so
your favorite tattoo?
I don't know. I feel like just my sleeve, like all of
That's
it.
not a lot though. Like,
That
is
is
there
a lot.
something in particular on it that you like?
Oh, okay, so I'm a very weird person and I really like details, right? So I really like the fact that, like, on the caballero, it goes from, like, a really dark and then it shades into the flowers. You know what I mean? I like that.
Like the blending
like how
in?
it looks, yeah. And then it just goes into the thing, you know?
That's-
So I would say, like, my forearm.
That's something that I hate.
What?
Well, not yours in particular, but anybody that has
now
like...
you're talking trash on my tattoos.
You're saying my tattoos are shitty. No, I hate it when people get body parts tattooed that is not the body part, if that makes sense.
Why?
Like, if you have, like, a realistic eye
You
on
say
your
body
arm-
parts, nobody's gonna get, like, a leg.
No, but people get, like, hands, feet, eyeballs. Like, when you have a realistic eyeball on your arm,
Well,
like...
say it. I wish you would.
It's just weird. Like, why would you put an eyeball there? That's what I'm thinking.
It's the Illuminati.
That's my personal opinion.
It is not the Illuminati eye. It is the eye that watches over me and protects me.
Just like biblically accurate angels, they have eyes all over them.
No, for real. Yeah, that's fact.
Which we'll talk about later.
We'll talk about that later.
But anyways, what are we talking about today?
Today, I want to talk about...
Where's my alien hoodie? What are we talking about today?
No, I want to talk about aliens today. No, because I was scrolling through TikTok the other day. And I remember you had told me too about how like NASA actually started exploring the ocean. And that's how they started before they did anything up with space. Yeah. And, you know, I got into that little like TikTok loop of just like NASA videos. And I was really interested on like why. But you can't find the answer why. Yeah. There's no solid reason. There's theories. You know what I mean? And that's just one of those things that we're never going to know. And that's why it's always going to be a conspiracy theory. Yeah. But I guess when NASA, like, they started discovering the ocean and stuff like that. I mean, first of all, the ocean's kind of hard to explore just because, like, all the...
It is so deep.
No, like, all the currents, you know what I mean? Like, you remember that submarine that went to the Titanic?
Oh, yeah, that it has to be, like, a perfect day, perfect weather.
Like, I remember one time they canceled it, like, 12 times in a row. And just because the conditions were right. So everything has to be right when you go underwater, right? Yeah. And then, apart from that, like, the sunlight doesn't reach. You know what I mean? I know in space there's less sunlight, but there's still the sun. You know what I mean? It's visible. Yeah. In the ocean, that's not the case at all. Yeah. And to think about, like, NASA partnered up with a whole bunch of different companies to do underwater exploration and, like, to graph the bottom of the ocean and stuff like that, right? But they also discovered, like, a ton of animals that has never been explored. Like 80%.
Those animals, that's one thing that freaks me out. Like those animals that they find way deep in there, they've never seen sunlight before.
Never.
So, like, you know what I mean? It makes you really.
You know what's crazy? And the fact, like, what I was thinking. So down there, the pressure is like tons, right?
Yeah,
like
it can
tons
destroy,
on
like,
tons on
submarine,
tons.
it can destroy everything.
Yeah, and like all the animals are like squishy and like stuff like that.
I don't know if they're all squishy, but...
No, they are. Because if you see
all sea animals.
Not all sea animals, but most of the ones down there...
Oh, you mean like a jellyfish that, like...
Yeah, or like, there's this one that looks like... I'll put a picture here. It looks like a... something. I don't know.
Like an alien.
Yeah, but it just looks squishy the way it moves and stuff like that.
Yeah, like floaty.
And to me, it's mind-blowing, like, how much pressure is under.
That they can't destroy it?
Yeah, like, you would think they would, like, pop or there would be nothing under there.
But that's in the conditions that they were born and, like, raised in. So, like, I feel like their bodies
because you have to adapt to your environment.
Yeah, I feel like their body automatically knows how to adapt to that.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Maybe they look squishy, but what if you bring it out to the surface and it's hard? Yeah. That's why...
And, like, these animals, they've been evolving for, like, years and years and years and years and years. Like, the lowest point on Earth, I think it's, like, 7 miles underneath the... like sea level. And like these animals have adapted, you know what I mean? Like there's this one animal that I forget the name of it, but like if it bites you, it'll take you out in minutes because it has to defend itself.
But you can reach it.
No, you can't. I mean, you physically wouldn't be able to dive down there and do it, but if they were to grab that animal and like bring it out, it would take you out in like seconds.
It's like the way that they defend themselves.
Yeah, it's the way that they defend themselves. It's the way.
So imagine what's down there that they have to defend themselves to the point that it would kill. Like
imagine what type of things they found, because like I said, 80% of the ocean is unexplored.
That's scary, right?
Undiscovered. Yeah, like nobody has seen
it. Like no any type of, like no sunshine hits there, and also there's not anything that would make it down there with a camera and light to be able to record what's down there. I mean, because the pressure is too much.
Yeah, I mean, they can go down there, and like technology is doing better, and they actually do like I know you know about that. I think that like they use like NASA uses underwater facilities to test like no gravity and like living in tight conditions and like all the pressure and stuff like that. So like technology is getting good enough to like where they are testing machines to go even, or like submarines to go even deeper into the water. But like still, imagine how many things are down there that are not explored at all. Yeah. 80%.
That's a lot.
Yeah, that's a lot. Most of it.
Imagine how deep it is. Imagine what's at the very bottom.
Yeah.
Like at the very, very bottom.
Well, you know how they always say like, or what we were talking about the last episode, how after so many different like generations, the story gets lost, right? Mm-hmm. And like, I'm sure that these like folktales that they say are true. You know, of like the giant squid, because like before that, I would imagine. You know, obviously I wasn't there, but like let's say you're in England, right? You're gonna come to the United States. You hop on a boat. They didn't have the technology back then. You know what I mean? I'm sure they didn't even know what a squid was because they've never seen one.
Yeah.
So, like, how did they make up a giant squid?
Yeah, like it has to come from some type of truth behind it.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Yeah. And, like, they have... I remember I was watching one of the Joe Rogan podcasts, and they were talking about, like, these huge, like, tentacles that were found at the bottom of the ocean, but, like, massive, like a Kraken-type squid. You know what I mean? And like I said, 80% of the ocean is completely unexplored. So that makes
that's really scary. I feel like there's a lot of things, because like you said, like if they're talking about like giant octopuses, there has to be some truth behind it. Somebody has to see. Nobody comes up with like stories like that without any type of like proof or they've seen something, you know?
Yeah.
So it really makes you wonder what's all the way down there. And it's scary because they say that like, so people that have been very, very deep, like to the point that they cannot go anymore, it's complete silence and you could just hear like weird noises. No, that's scarier. No, but like they hear like sounds that they've never heard before and like little noises that they've never heard before. Like that's scary, not knowing that like maybe you're in like something's mouth already, you know, because it's so giant.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. That freaks me out.
And, like, also, one of those things that... It's just my conspiracy theory. But you know how squid, they're really, really good at camouflaging.
Smart. Yeah.
No, camouflaging.
Yeah,
they can literally blend in with the rocks and make it look like a rock. Who's saying that, like, you know, maybe they run into a rock that just is huge and it's just like a tentacle chilling.
But it's just like, oh, ew, I hate that.
But you have no idea of that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because the squid skin is literally like, if you move it, it's like pixels, like a TV screen where like it'll be moving one by one. So their camouflage is on point.
That's so crazy.
And you know how I told you how like animals been evolving to like, you know, withstand that environment? Camouflage has to be part of it. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because that deep, I imagine that they can see or they can shoot.
Or there's like, bigger predators. Like that
so their camouflage has to be on point. Yeah. Now imagine a giant squid. Its camouflage has to be on point.
That's kind of scary. I mean, but it's really cool how nature works. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they adapt. We adapt. They adapt. But them to the point that, like you said, maybe it's a giant squid to us, but there's a larger predator because they have to be having that skill for some type of reason. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like how chameleons, they camouflage to, like, you know, scare birds or whatever eats them. But this giant thing is hiding from something. That's how I see it. Maybe I'm, like, putting too much thought into it, but, like, that's how I would see it.
Yeah. And a lot of them, they look like aliens. Like,
yeah, they do.
They don't look like they belong on this planet.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't want to be rude. I don't want to offend. I don't want to offend all
any octopus out there.
Yeah, but they don't look like they belong on this planet.
Yeah.
With
their huge heads.
Yeah. That's gross.
Okay, we don't get to roast them.
I imagine, like, you know the pirate from Pirates of the Caribbean that's like a squid head?
Ew, yeah.
Yeah, I imagine that.
The whole face is like tentacles.
Yeah. Well, but I guess, like, I don't guess. NASA is doing the exploration with, like, testing.
Currently.
Yeah, like, they're trying to reach this moon. It's Jupiter's, like, one of the biggest moons. It's called Europa. And so on that moon, it's literally like a thick layer of ice, and that's the surface of it. Everything else under it is water. What? Absolutely everything of it is water.
So it's being held by that layer of ice.
Yeah. And since it's so deep, you know what I mean? There is like almost like a filtration system or like a block that's blocking all the harsh chemicals coming, or like the radiation coming from Jupiter.
From the liquid inside.
Yeah. So there could very much be life on that moon. You know what I mean? Because conditions would be decent. And for it to be life, it doesn't have to be like a fish this big. It could literally be like a microorganism. Yeah. So that would be like perfect conditions. And they're actually trying to get there before 2030. They're sending this like craft. I don't know what it's called. Like spacecraft. that's gonna like drill into the hole and like test the waters and stuff like that.
What if something bad happens? How about
like
we not touch new shit and then like...
Or imagine like they drill a hole, water starts coming out and it puts out the sun.
Yeah, or... No. That's never gonna happen. No, I'm not talking about that, but what if like...
Imagine like a tiny leak all the way to the sun.
It's out. No, but I mean like, what if they like... They open a hole and then like this type of bacteria thing goes on the people and then they bring it down to Earth and then we all die.
And then we're all aliens.
Yeah.
Well, they're not gonna... I don't think they're sending people. It's just gonna be like one of those...
Like a robot type of thing.
Yeah.
But what if something happens by like opening
because
that and
from what I know, Jupiter's pretty toxic. Like you can't be there.
Yeah.
It's not one of those like habitable planets.
Like no, nothing can live there. It's too toxic.
Yeah, and then also back to one of those things. The universe is growing every single second. Like you and me talking right now, the universe is growing.
Yeah.
You and me here talking, sitting, the universe grew.
We're nothing.
We're nothing. We're literally the tiniest little nothings.
And what about how you're talking about, like, you know, how they're going to open a hole and get some water out of that to test it? And you're like, like living, it doesn't have to be a fish or nothing. It has to be like the tiniest thing. What if like people from a different planet, they think we're the tiniest thing? They're like, oh, they're going to go research Earth. And then they found these tiny little things. We don't know what it means. We're going to test one out. Yeah, and we're like tiny little people.
Or like, what if we are just, because, okay, so you know how everything, like, if you zoom in, it goes down to like molecular, you know what I'm trying to say. Molecular level. The tiny things. Imagine we're just that, but from like...
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So like, maybe to us, we're like, you know, we're living in our big world and talking about other planets and like, that's how other things or other living things see us, like the tiniest
or like
things.
We're an organism on a piece of paper somewhere, and they're like throw us in the garbage.
Yeah. Okay, I don't want to think all this anymore. It's scaring me. But so since you were talking about space, so I was on TikTok. I feel like we're like always on TikTok.
I feel like I'm never on TikTok. That's the thing. I feel like I do most of my research through YouTube.
Well, I only do it because of our TikTok, but like then. You know, your phone listens to you, so like they know what I'm into, and then like alien stuff start popping up and like conspiracy theories and stuff. So then I'm watching it. But somebody was talking about how, and this picture is not new. The picture I'm about to show,
the picture right here.
The picture right here, it's not new. So there's this telescope in space that is called the Hubble telescope.
That sounds fun.
Hubble Space Telescope. I don't know. And it looks like this, and it pretty much, so it got released 1990, and it's there to pretty much like, it takes like really beautiful pictures. They look fake. I mean, they could be fake, but I don't know. It takes pictures of like, you know, galaxies and like whatever is going on. Sometimes they're not that interesting. Sometimes it's just stars and stuff. And it almost looks fake. That's how real it looks. Yeah, it looks fake, but because they're beautiful, they look like they're like
HD.
Yeah, like HD. Like you can really see like all the little details on it. But on 1994, so 4 years later after it was invented, like sometime mid-December, they fixed it because something went wrong. So they released it back into space, and it took a picture of this. And the funny thing is that that picture was taken the day after Christmas, so December 26, 1994. And people were saying that this was heaven because the way that it looks, like it doesn't look like the other pictures, which is like galaxies and like planets and stars and like there's not a defined shape. Like it's just kind of like a blob of like stars and stuff. But this one, it looks like almost like man-made. Like it looks like a house. It looks like
it looks a little too perfect.
Yeah, it looks a little bit too structured. Like very like with lines and squares and triangles and like very like, you know, measured. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah. And people were saying that that was heaven. So NASA found heaven, whatever. This came out on the news. There was like stuff about it. And I don't know where it just went away. So this guy that I found on TikTok, he was saying, I don't think he was a direct source. I think it was somebody else's story and then he just presented it. But he was saying that he knows for a fact that NASA hides some images that the telescope takes to not freak out people, and some stuff that they don't even have an explanation. So if they were to put it out there, they don't have any like information about it, which is just gonna like make people assume things or whatever.
And that makes so much sense because it would like if people started seeing aliens or something like that, or like something, they would freak out.
Yeah, and they wanna pretty much, it's like they have some information, they wanna control it to kind of release it or not release it.
Yeah, it goes back to like what we talked about the last episode.
Yeah, so it's like it got released, and this guy was saying that he knows for a fact that NASA does hide pictures and images that they don't have an explanation for, because his uncle, he worked for NASA, and he had a picture. He took a picture of a picture that his uncle gave him, that on the back it says like NASA blah blah blah, this date, and then when it was taken, and then it literally says hidden like underneath. So underneath all that stuff that he wrote. So he knows for a fact that NASA does hide certain images, and sometimes they decide to release it, or sometimes it gets leaked. And like this picture, it got leaked and then it got released, and then
the heaven picture.
Yeah, the heaven picture. So it got leaked, and then it was hidden, and then it got released by them at this point. So because I think they kind of assumed that, like, I mean, everybody saw it, like, you know what I mean. But also, like, when it first got leaked, they were saying that they didn't recognize this picture, like nobody knows who took it or whatever. The time that it got released by them, they were saying that it was a confirmed picture, because the doctor that discovered that image, he was pretty much saying like, oh, this is what we were looking for, this is heaven on space or whatever. So, and he was like a pretty known doctor, the guy that released the picture, so, or that he discovered the picture, sorry. So anyway, so this picture is like an old picture. So on 2020, people were starting to talk about it again. So that's why it's like such a thing right now on TikTok, because people are like looking into it. The trippy thing is, like, before we even talk about this stuff, like, I do try to do my research, because I don't want to like say all fake information without knowing. And like I said, maybe we're not very accurate, but all the information we're finding is off the internet, and it's available to everybody. So I'm just...
Everybody knows what the internet is true.
Oh yeah, facts. So, you know, I did my research, I tried to look into it, and like the picture is from NASA. It's not a made up picture, it's real. That's one thing that creeped me out. Another thing, because you assume that it's like a fake picture, like, you know, it's like an edited picture, or somebody like manipulated the picture or whatever. But no, it's a legit picture. Creepy. Second of all, the fact that people were saying that NASA does have certain images and they do hide them, that is also a fact, because I found that on the internet.
I feel like also if nobody told me like they are hiding, that's just something I would think, because they do have that power over us.
Yeah, and obviously people get curious and they want to find more information. I was like those people last night, because I was trying to find all the information I could, and like I told you, I did find out that the picture is real, but besides that, there's not any information about it. And I feel like that's kind of sketch, because if NASA, that's the thing, we don't know everything that they know. So maybe they found it interesting and they researched more about it, and they even know what it is, but us, the public, doesn't know. You know what I mean? Because nobody has leaked that information, nobody made it out to like say that information, but like there's no information about it, like what it truly was, if they went to take another picture, if they went to check it out. There's no information about it, just the image and the background story of it, and then like paper clipping saying that like they found heaven in space. And besides that, there's nothing. There's no names, there's no investigation, nobody went back to look at it, there hasn't been another picture about it, and who knows if that thing is still up there or not. Me personally, I don't think it's heaven.
I don't think it is either.
I don't think
my
it's
heaven, it's much bigger than just like another galaxy in the Milky Way.
Well,
or not the Milky Way, but wherever it is.
Well, like I said, I told you this last night, I don't think if there is a heaven or a hell, I don't think it's necessarily a physical place. I think it's more like a spiritual place.
Yeah.
And the way that you leave, and kind of like, I'm not saying you're stuck in like a loophole or whatever, but I think it's wherever your soul or your essence decides to go to. But I don't think it's necessarily a physical place. I don't think it's up. I don't think it's down. I think it's just like a spiritual, like resting place. Yeah. So that's how I see it. So I don't think heaven is a physical place. Another thing that people were saying in comments, because I was looking through TikToks and seeing what people were like talking about it, they were saying that they don't think it's heaven, but they think it's where like, I can't remember the name of the place. We'll put it right here. But it's where the goddesses and the gods live, kind of like Hercules, like,
yeah, because the dad, he would live up on a cloud.
Yeah, they were living in, like, because if you look at the picture and if you really, like, zoom in, you can kind of see it looks like those Roman buildings. Like yeah, because
that is facts.
Yeah, because you see the pillars and stuff.
Yeah.
So people are assuming that's where the gods and the goddesses live. I low-key want to believe that more.
No, I also don't think that that's where the gods...
It's cool to think about it.
I mean, it's cool to think about it. Honestly, I don't think it's true.
No,
I think if that was the case and they were only taking care of Earth, they would live a little bit closer. I don't think they would be so far away.
I don't think they care about us.
You think?
I don't think so. I think they're living their godly life.
In the Greek god myths, they do take care of...
Yeah.
You know
I know what you're talking about. But yeah, so people were thinking that. And so then I was like, oh my gosh, people are like overreaching. Because like there's some stuff that I'm really into, but like there's stuff that I'll automatically look and I'm like, I don't believe that at all. Yeah. Like you could give me a list of like proof and I'll be like, I don't believe that. So I don't believe that's heaven. I think you can agree. I don't think that's heaven either. But
I mean, it's cool and it's cool to look at.
It's cool to think about. I think it's weird. But if you really look at... There's pages of the actual pictures from the telescope, and I was looking through it last night, and actually like 2 days ago, and I was like in awe because I was like, these pictures look beautiful. Like they don't look like they're real. Like they look like they're edited. So I was looking through the pictures, and if you really look through the pictures, there's a lot of pictures where the structures, not the structure, I don't want to say structures, but the images and of the galaxies, or it could be this like thing, because it's different things. It could be like a star exploding, it could be a picture of like a planet. They look very weird. Like I could look at one of them and be like, oh, it looks like a building, like, you know what I mean? Because they're so like
not like one shape. Yeah,
it's not one single shape. They have these different movements to it. So like I can kind of see why people see that. But like, let's say you grab that same picture and you put it like upside down, or you put it to the side, and like it looks like something else. Whatever your mind wants to see is what it's gonna see. So if multiple people are telling you, oh, this looks like heaven, then you're gonna be looking at it to go be like, oh, you're right, it does look like heaven.
Yeah.
You know, but who knows what heaven looks like? Like, you have to be dead. You know what I mean? So you can't tell me that looks like something that we all haven't seen.
Yeah. You know what's creepy?
What?
When people say they die, they go to heaven and come back. You think that's facts or no?
I don't think so.
You think you die one time?
No, I think heaven is whatever you want it to be when you're dying. So like, let's say you're in a hospital bed and like you know you have those moments where those people, they think that they saw heaven or they saw hell. I think it's where their mindset was at the time. So like, I know for like personal experience, Tio Lupito, which is one of our uncles.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say like I died. I was like,
no.
They're gonna hit me with something. I was like, bro, what?
You're like, where's this conversation heading? Yeah, so I know when he passed away, as he was on his bed and he had like that phenomenon, which is like the last like little burst of energy, that he was asking his sisters or great aunt to help him like get more comfortable. And then when he turned, he like looked at her and said like, can you give me a glass of water, mom? And he like passed away then. So I know that in his head, his heaven was probably reuniting with his mom.
Oh, that's
so
sad.
In a way, I do believe that there is a heaven, like I said, but like I think it's whatever your mindset is at or what you're willing to see. Because I know when I die, I'm gonna want to see my family.
Yeah.
So that if that's what I want to believe as I'm passing away, or that's where my mind is taking me to, I feel like that is your heaven or that is your hell. Like, what if you died with a lot of regrets or in a lot of like doubts, and you know that you lived a bad life?
Oh, that could be true, because when I'm like, once again, I've never died, so I don't know. But let's say I'm dying, right? I could either be like, oh, like I'm good.
I'm in a peaceful.
Yeah, like I'm gonna die, but I had a good life.
Yeah.
Or you could be like, bro, like I have this one thing pending, and that could be your mindset that you go, and that could be your hell. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. Let's say there's somebody that you didn't clear like something up with. That could be your hell. Like that, just thinking about that and like that situation.
But that's like your own personal hell. That's your own personal hell.
My hell would be this last job that I had. For real, it would.
No, like I really feel like everybody has their own heaven and their own hell. Like I can't be in your heaven.
What do you
think?
Can't
be in mine.
Like, it doesn't have to get too deep, but what do you think your heaven and your hell is? I would assume your heaven is like with your family.
Yeah. Heaven would be happy, comfortable with my family, like my whole family. My hell would be driving for hours. You know how much I hate driving? Like
no music.
Like no music, just driving. I think I would be like a semi-truck driver. That would be my hell, honestly. Funny
Your
enough.
dad was a semi-truck.
Yeah, funny enough he was. But the fact that like I hate driving. Like if it's like
you would fall asleep.
Yeah, if it's like 30 minutes.
When we go on road trips, you get in like
it's because I'm zoning out. It's my hell. If they train me, I would dream that dream of me working and I wake up tired from working in my dream and I have to go to work. You know what I mean? Yeah, like I've worked all night. Now you want me to work all day?
I'm gonna call out.
Yeah, you're tired from working all night. Like that's like the worst dream. You're not even resting.
That is.
Your body's tired. No.
Have you? You know what's the worst experience you can have while you're sleeping? Cuando se te sube el muerto.
Oh yeah.
That like
sleep paralysis.
Sleep paralysis. Yeah. Because you're just chilling there. You could just move your eyes. But
I like the memes one.
They do.
That they're like dancing or like.
Oh, you're dumb.
I love that. No way, that has happened to me.
No, so there's this one that's called like the Woman in Black or something like that. But it's a phenomenon that happens with sleep paralysis, and it's very, very common, where people will have sleep paralysis and they'll see a woman in black looking at them.
Oh hell no.
And just staring at them, and some people like say that it got on top of them. And like was just like on top of them, like staring deadly in their eyes.
I don't even want to imagine that.
So now, when I go to sleep, I make sure I'm not like face up. If I'm gonna have sleep paralysis, I'm having face down.
So it's not looking at me.
Yeah.
No, I've had sleep paralysis. The first time I've ever had it, it was I think I was 17. No, I'm lying. Like 16, But I almost felt like I was being like sunk into the bed. Like that's how I felt. Mm-hmm. And like, but I was like stiff and like I wanted to talk. Like on the inside, I'm like yelling.
And all you can do is
yeah. But on the inside, you're like, get up, help me. This lady's staring at me. Yeah, like that was my first time ever. And then I've had it after that, but like I didn't realize it was sleep paralysis. I thought I was awake. Like I thought I was actually awake. You know what I mean? Like I thought I was doing things and I was seeing things for real and stuff like that. And then I wake up and I thought it was a nightmare, but I was awake the whole time, if that makes sense.
Yeah, but you know how they say, like, even with that lady, they do say that angels are not like what they seem to be. What if that lady's a good lady? And
I don't want to find out.
Maybe she's watching over me as I
sleep.
She's
my guardian angel.
Yeah. I need somebody to watch over me while I slumber.
That lady.
I need that lady in black dress.
No.
I imagine.
Don't say that because at night it's going to happen to you.
No, it was more scary when I lived by myself.
I don't want to go to sleep.
For real. Because if I hear a noise, who's going to check it out? Me.
No. Remember watching scary videos and I had to leave?
Yeah, we were zooted. Bro, don't go.
We couldn't even look at the TV on the video because we were so scared.
Yeah.
But we were under the influence, so we were not good. But anyways, so speaking about angels, how you're talking about like they don't seem to be. So as I was scrolling through things about how they discovered heaven in space and stuff, then it slowly started turning into like biblically accurate angels, or that's how people are calling it. Which it is not a fact because I figure out doing my research. So people make videos of these angels, and you know they look scary. They don't look like the typical angels that you imagine with wings and like all angelic and cute and stuff. So instead, they're these like creatures made out of eyeballs and wings and something that you wouldn't imagine that an angel would look like. And so I started getting into it because like it looked interesting. I mean, from a creative perspective, they look really like they're literally drawing it as the Bible described them.
So it's like all cool.
Yeah. So me necessarily, I don't believe the way that they're describing it. It's like an accurate description. I think if they're saying like, this is just an example, like it was full of eyes. I think it's because they see it all, not necessarily because they're full of eyes, if that makes sense. Or like they had all these wings to protect you. People are imagining a million wings, but they're really, to me, it could be like just really, really big protective wings. Like, does that make sense? Like, they're not literally saying they have
that's pretty cool to think about.
You don't have, that's how I was seeing it. So,
yeah, like I really got the one with the eyes.
Yeah.
Like maybe they describe it as eyes.
Yeah.
But you just see everything.
Yeah. So and then people are saying like, oh, they're drawing it with like human looking eyes, but what if it's all kinds of eyes, like of all the creatures, all the animals, all the humans, like, you know?
Yeah.
So
or what if it's like a definition of an eye that we've never seen?
Yeah. So it's like people are literally drawing it out as it's being described, but I think it's deeper than that. I don't think it's necessarily exactly the way that they're describing it. I think there's a meaning behind it.
Yeah.
So, like, I know one of them, and I don't know if you guys have seen the pictures of these angels, but they look trippy. I like them. I like that type of stuff, but I don't necessarily believe that is what it was.
I mean, if those were like real angels, that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, that would be pretty cool, but it would be scary.
I'd be like, bro, no way you're my angel, dog.
Well, it's just there you with thousand eyes.
I'm hyping him up. And, you know, bro, this dude's so annoying. I don't want to be his angel no more.
I'm gonna send you the lady, the sleep paralysis lady to watch you now. No. Yeah, but like one of them, so it's like, I'm just gonna tell you guys like quick descriptions of it, because there's like multiple descriptions and people take it a different way from each other. Like, you know what I mean? Like one, like some people believe what I believe, that it's not necessarily the way that is being described. And some people do believe it's exactly how it's being described. So, like, they could be described as, so, to quote, it's like, their entire bodies, including their back, hands, wings, they were full of eyes all around, and they were four wheels. And this is supposedly what it looks like. So, a wheel on wheel, covered in full eyes, with a giant eye in the middle.
A wheel on wheel?
Yeah, so 4 wheels. So, 4 wheels of
on top of
eyes
a wheel.
Surrounding each other. Like, you know what I mean?
I can't even imagine that.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. So the way that is described, that's how I would imagine it as well. So wheel of eyes. Imagine 4 of that, and then like a giant eye in the middle. So like that's how people are drawing it out.
The way I'm seeing it is like, you know those toys you had when you were little that it was like a plastic ball and it had something in the middle. I imagine it like that, but like really cool, obviously, and then like just like a really cool like.
Yeah, but it's pretty
filthy
much.
Eye, you know what
yeah,
I mean?
so pretty much.
I'm gonna get that as a tattoo.
Like a realistic angel.
Yeah.
Yeah. So and then another description, it would be it was an angelic being with 6 wings and sorry, scratch that, cut this. Okay, another one was being described as an angelic being with 6 sets of wings and 2 covering the eyes and 2 covering underneath, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the reason why it was covering his eyes is because it cannot look directly into God's holiness. So, like, that's why it looks the way that it looks. So, and then the way that the picture, which is this, it's just pretty much a bunch set of wings with eyes all over them. Like I said, I don't think it necessarily means that that's what they look like. I think it's just describing something. I think it's like maybe it looks like this protective thing, like, or it's like an angel that sees it all and protects all, and you know, like
I can believe that more than
So, but it, like I said, in a creative perspective, it looks kind of cool to see how people like see things like one same thing in different ways. Another description of an angel, it has 4 heads. So the head of a lion, an ox, an eagle, and a human, and also it has 6 sets of wings, and supposedly it's because it can see every way, you know, because it has four heads. So, and then also like they're covering eyes. There's also some angels that were covered that literally is just like a bunch of wings and eyes all over it, and they're called the fiery ones because underneath there's a fire of them. That's what I'm saying. So if I say he had a fire in him, I'm not imagining a person that literally has a fire inside of him. I'm imagining like they have like a passion or something. I think that's what people are like kind of misunderstanding, you know?
And that makes sense because like even in other religions, they always paint like the things with a bunch of eyes. Like I know some cultures, they literally paint themselves with eyes. Yeah,
so I think it represents whatever you want it to represent, but I think the way that it's being described, like, and these are not verses. The descriptions that I just said, they're not verses. So they say if you really look through the Bible and you read what it's saying, it's not describing like, you know, it does say like it had like 6 sets of wings, but I don't think it means like this creepy looking creature. I think it's just maybe like this angelic thing with a lot of wings, like, you know what I mean, not necessarily scary, because when you look at these images you're like, that's kind of creepy. And like one thing that people find it funny is that every time it would encounter somebody, it would just say like, do not be afraid. And well, I'm gonna be afraid if I see that. But then also,
but they're supposed to bring you that peace, though.
Yeah, so if it's an angel, like, it brings you some type of peace or whatever. So maybe, I mean, they're right, maybe I won't be afraid. But so like I said, so after I got into that whole loophole of like biblically accurate angels, I wanted to know where they're getting this from. Like, I wanted to see the verses and I wanted to make my own opinion. Like, you know what I mean? I wanted to see exactly what was on the Bible, not necessarily based off what people are saying. So I had to do my research and I went on the internet, which, you know, trusty.
Te subiste al internet.
Me subí al internet y le puse ahí una. No, I went on the internet.
The trusty internet.
The trusty internet. And I was reading the verses, and that's why I told you that's how I came up with my opinion. I don't think it necessarily means what it's saying. Like, you know, like this big sphere of eyes and all this stuff. I think there's a deeper meaning behind it. I think people are just taking it like literally what it's saying.
Yeah. And also think about it like it's artists doing their artistic interpretation.
Yeah. And then what made sense, the more that I was like reading and looking into it, is that these creatures, they're not angels. They're messengers. They're the messengers of the Lord. So
that's what they're supposed to be.
That's what they are. And people are saying that they're angels because if you really look into, I mean, I'm not saying I read the Bible, but I'm looking based off what people are talking about. And I was like reading actual like verses off the pages. And it says that angels are being described as looking human. The only thing is that they look angelic by having some type of glow behind them. So that's how you could tell. But also it says that some people wouldn't know that they were dealing with angels because they look so much like us. Mm-hmm. So those are actual angels. And the angels that people are describing, they're messengers. Because in one of the verses, one of the creatures, I can't remember which one it was, and I don't want to mispronounce names, so that's why I'm not mentioning the names. But it literally says, I'm a messenger of the Lord. Do not be afraid. I'm here to protect you, or something like that. So, and the people were saying the reason why they look the way that they look is to scare demons, is to scare like the evil. You know, that's why they look the way that they look. Mm-hmm. But to us, they wouldn't be technically scary.
Yeah,
you know.
And we were talking about this before the episode that like the demon and evil and all that stuff is always painted like beautiful,
attractive,
and, like,
charming,
the fun stuff.
Yeah. So pretty much like just how there's like angels that look like human, like us, like you and I, but you know, angelic or whatever. Demons literally look the same. They look like humans, like charming and confident and like happy and party.
Because
like,
that's what tricks you.
That's what. Sorry, that's what you're gonna like confuse for. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and so how they were saying that there's these messengers, the way that they look, there is like demon messengers or the devil messengers that they look really creepy as well. Like, they don't look like something you would imagine, because like you typically imagine like the devil with horns and like, you know, the tail or
I
whatever.
imagine from Tenacious D.
Yeah, no, that's not what they look like.
No.
No, like they have like, you know, goat's feet, and like there's one that looks all twisted. We'll put a picture on it. Like, it looks twisted, and they have these like, they also have multiple faces and stuff like that.
Well, human mind is like a different realm, so
yeah,
things that we can't even imagine.
Yeah, so things that we can't imagine, and you know what I mean. If you look at that, I'm also gonna be scared.
For real,
you know. But like to
Brenda, I feel like I could turn off a light and you would be scared.
Yeah, I would be scared because I feel like I've seen so much stuff and I read so much stuff that. Like, as soon as you turn off light, I'm thinking about all the scary stuff I've ever seen in my life at once. Yeah, but anyways, yeah. So like how they have these like weird looking angelic creatures, they also have it like demon wise. Like, they look weird, and we'll put some pictures of them. And but yeah, that's what we were talking about. So pretty much that. So just how angels look like humans, but like also demons look like humans as well. Like they look like somebody you would approach, or they look like regular people. Why wouldn't they? They're there to trick you, you know? Yeah. So I don't know. I thought like I got too into that.
And everybody says el que no tranza no avanza.
Yeah. So I don't know. I feel like it's just kind of to like not necessarily trick you, but like it's easier to fall in temptation.
Yeah, they're trying to influence you.
Yeah. So.
Because even like the music that we listen to, everything's party, drugs.
Yeah, I mean it's not good stuff.
Yeah, everybody's chasing like the Hollywood. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I'm not necessarily saying like I'm not. I don't know. I don't know if there's heavens and earth. Heaven. Fuck this shit. Cut this shit off. I'm done. What do you believe? Do you think there's like evil here on earth? Not necessarily evil like mean people and shit, but I'm talking about like demons, angels. Do you think there's angels here on earth? Do you think there's demons here on earth?
I believe yes. And this is my opinion, so nobody can tell me yes.
Okay, no. I'm not fighting you. I'm literally asking you.
Nah. These fish were looking at me some type of way. Nah, but I feel like there has to be. Like, just all the negative influence. I saw this one TikTok that it really made me think that it was like, if, let's say you were the devil, right? And your goal was to cause havoc. You would have people at war with themselves. You would have people at the same time fighting to be themselves. At the same time, not letting them be themselves. And like doing all these things like, breaking down the like quality of life of being like a human being and being under a system and all that stuff. You know what I mean? Glorify everything that is bad, like all the drugs, all the partying, all that stuff. That stuff at the end of the day.
But are you talking about like an evil influence, or are you talking about like literally
demons? Because because if you like think about it in a really like broad, pulled back level, there is a heaven and hell, and there's the world, and they have to figure it out. It makes sense, you know what I mean? That they would have people. Or not people, but demons looking like humans.
To influence that into people. Okay, that makes sense.
Of course, like, we don't know everything.
Okay, what I think there is, like, evil. I don't know if necessarily demons. And I don't want to say that a demon comes out.
Oh.
I'm scared. But I'm saying, like, there is evil influences. And that has to come from somewhere. Somewhere of evil. So, like... I don't know if I necessarily believe that there's demons here on earth, but I know there's people that just want to cause that, like, evilness and people being influenced badly and ending up. But I also believe that about, like, I would say guardian angels, because I met people in my life, like, random people, like, or, like, in one of my hospital stays or stuff like that I'm like, that lady had to be, like, a guardian angel. Yeah, because... I didn't know this lady. I never seen her again. She said some stuff to me and like she made me feel safe. So maybe it's in your head. Maybe like, you're overthinking and like you feel so blessed that you met somebody like that. But like there is like moments in my life that I'm like, where does this person come from? And like, why did it make me feel this type of way? Like, you know what I mean? Like it could be like an older lady, or it could be like, I don't know, a gentleman, or like, it doesn't matter, but just like somebody that you're like, that was really weird. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that was really weird that I met this person and these things. Just as evil and good, That's what I believe. I don't think necessarily demons, but, like, there has to be something influencing these people. It could be evil thoughts. It could be stuff that's around us that influence us behaving that way. You know what I mean? If you're listening to some type of music, you're going to behave a certain way. And that's, like, facts, So, I don't know.
Sometimes I wish I had, like, a big enough, like, reach to like sit everybody down and just have a talk with them and be like, you guys are supposed to act this way.
Do you see the rules of life?
You're supposed to be nice to people.
Or why are you so evil?
For real.
Like where's this coming from? Talk to me.
Yeah, like what's your problem here, bro? I'll listen.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious too. But like also I feel like people, they end up living their life in a certain way because stuff that happened to them in the past or the way that they were brought up. But I mean, like...
No, but there's people out there that's just evil.
Yeah.
Like, there's, like, I don't mean to, like, offend all the evil people out there, but there's something wired wrong in their head. Yeah. Because just how we have our thoughts of like being good, just because like if you believe in good, you have to believe in bad.
Yeah.
So there are people that have wired and have the same beliefs, but completely opposite.
Yeah, or they're just bad, period. Like, they just have, like, almost no emotion, like, no feelings.
Yeah, we all know that one little kid from our childhood that was just bad.
Yes, silver teeth.
Yeah, the Edgar haircut.
The Edgar haircut. No, but I agree. But I don't know. I feel like this last part of the episode was, like, really random. Yeah. I want to say, please subscribe, follow, and like. Like, you guys don't understand how much it means to us every time somebody subscribes to us or they follow us. Like, it sounds funny, but we, like, do celebrate. We tell each other every single time.
We're waiting to hit big 20 on YouTube.
A big 20.
No, TikTok's popping off a little bit.
Yeah, like, support us. We have a TikTok, we have a Facebook, we have Instagram. Here, like us, follow. It really does mean a lot to us. Like, we're starting from nothing, and like, even just likes and comments, like, it makes a big deal to us. So
that's very heartfelt.
Yeah, so thank you for supporting us if you have, and if you haven't, I hope you enjoyed this episode. Peace.
Yes.